We have a word for what makes someone desirable: attraction. For almost the entire history of our species, that word carried a very different meaning. Picture yourself 300,000 years ago. There were no dating apps, no gyms, no luxury cars, no Instagram filters. You lived in a small band of 30 or 40 people walking across endless landscapes. Every choice, every glance, every potential partner was known to the entire group. There was nowhere to hide. This was how humans lived for more than 90% of our time on Earth. And the rules of attraction back then were brutally honest. A man didn't win a woman with smooth talk or money. He won her with what he could bring back to camp. The best hunters, the most skilled providers, the men who returned loaded with meat again and again, they were the ones women chose. Among the H people of Paraguay, who still lived by foraging, studies showed that the top hunters fathered nearly twice as many children as average men, both inside and outside their bonds. Meat wasn't just food, it was status, it was survival, it was sexy. But it wasn't only about strength or hunting skill. Women were attracted to men who showed reliability, generosity, and the ability to protect. A man who shared his kill with the group, who helped raise children that weren't even his own, who stayed calm in crisis. These traits mattered deeply. Because in a world without hospitals or police, a good partner could mean the difference between life and death for your children. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups like the Hadza in Tanzania found something surprising. Women didn't just look for the biggest or strongest man. They looked for someone whose skills complemented their own. A man who was good at tracking, at making tools, at navigating long distances. Intelligence and competence were incredibly attractive. And what about women? What made a woman desirable in the ancient world? She wasn't judged by the modern standards of thinness or fashion. In a world where food was scarce and pregnancy was dangerous, signs of health, vitality, and fertility were what mattered. Clear skin, strong teeth, energetic movement, and the physical ability to gather food while carrying a child, these were powerful signals. A woman who could contribute to the group, maintain strong social bonds, and raise healthy children was highly valued. But attraction wasn't just practical, it was deeply emotional. Two anthropologists, William Jankowiak and Edward Fisher, examined 166 different cultures and found romantic love, that intense, sleepless, can't-eat feeling, in 147 of them. Love songs, poetry, and stories of forbidden romance existed long before Shakespeare. Our ancestors felt the same butterflies, the same jealousy, the same helpless pull around the campfire that we feel today. Yet the way they acted on that attraction was different. There was no formal marriage in the beginning. A couple would simply start sharing a shelter and a fire. The man would prove himself by hunting for her family, sometimes for years. It was a long audition. Only when her parents and the group approved would the bond become stable. And even then, it wasn't always for life. Studies of the Juhuansi Bushmen show that many people had multiple partners over their lifetime. Bonds formed, children were born, and sometimes people drifted apart. Women often initiated the separation. In small camps where everyone knew everything, there was no hiding infidelity. Jealousy was real and sometimes deadly. Researchers Martin Daly and Margot Wilson found that sexual jealousy was one of the leading causes of violence in ancestral-like societies. So what really drove attraction deep in our past? It was a combination of raw survival value and something more mysterious: chemistry. The way someone smelled, the sound of their voice, the way they moved, their sense of humor around the fire. These subtle cues told our ancestors on a primal level whether this person's genes and personality would help their children survive. Status mattered too, but not the way we think today. In hunter-gatherer societies, the most respected men were often generous sharers, not hoarders. A man who kept everything for himself was unattractive. Generosity signaled confidence and good character. Physical symmetry, balanced features, clear skin, strong posture also played a role because it suggested good health and strong genes. But it was never enough on its own. A handsome man who couldn't hunt or provide was quickly overlooked. The ancient rules of attraction were harsh but fair. They rewarded competence, character, and contribution. They punished laziness and selfishness. And they worked for hundreds of thousands of years. Then agriculture arrived. Property, wealth, and power changed everything. Suddenly a man could be attractive because of his land or his cattle, not because of what he could do with his own hands. Later came cities, money, and modern technology. The rules became distorted. We started valuing symbols of status, cars, watches, followers, over the real traits that once kept our species alive. Today we are confused. We chase looks, money, and social media validation, wondering why so many relationships feel empty. But our bodies and brains still carry the ancient wiring. Deep down, we are still attracted to competence, kindness, strength of character, and the ability to make us feel safe. The next time you feel that pull towards someone, remember this. Millions of years of evolution are speaking through you. Your ancestors didn't swipe right. They watched, they waited, they tested. They chose partners who could survive with them in a dangerous world. We didn't invent attraction, we inherited it. The rules may have changed on the surface, but the deepest desires remain the same. We still want someone who makes us feel chosen, protected, excited, and safe. Around the fire, under the stars, just like they did 300,000 years ago. The ancient rules of attraction are not gone. They are quietly working inside you right now, waiting to be remembered.